Hey there, Joanne fans. I am Vickie from The Knit Show with Vickie Howell, and I am here again today to do a little crocheting with you. So here we are. It's November. How is it November already? It's crazy, but we're in full-on pumpkin spice season. We are full pumpkin right now. So I thought it would be fun to show you how to make a crochet plushie that's really cute for just a kid to play with, maybe in their play kitchen, or as a decoration with a bunch of other stuff, maybe on a mantle or with a place card. You could have one of these for each of your guests at your Thanksgiving table, or really just for fun. Great teacher gift too, just a little nod of handmade goodness that you can give to really anyone. So I'm going to walk you through all of the steps to get this made, and you can get the full description and pattern on the Creative Spark blog on joanne.com. So first off, let's talk supplies. So for this project, all you need is yarn, duh, right? So you can actually, what's great about a project like this is you can use the exact same pattern and make it small or really big solely based on which product or which materials you use. So for this project, I used kind of a chunky weight. I used Peyton's Classic Wool Bulky. So here is, so it looks like this, and you can get this at your Joanne store, but really any kind of chunky wool would give you this, or acrylic would give you this weight. Lion Brand makes one, Joanne's private label makes one, Premier makes one, everybody's got one. So you do you and you find one. And also, traditional is orange, but don't be afraid to go kind of chic, modern, and white, or go crazy and purple, whatever you like. You can use anything sort of in that chunky weight. If you want a smaller one, all you need to do is go down to, say, a sport weight or even a sock weight, and then just the corresponding hook go down inside. If you wanted a big mamma jamma, have you seen some of the crazy big yarns they have now? Go as big as you want, and then just read the back of the label and see what millimeters or what size hook that they suggest. Then go down one size from what they suggest. That's my tip. What that will do is make sure that your piece is really tight. You want plushies, also called Amigurumi, to be really firm so that the stuffing doesn't shine or show through it. There are tricks to sort of avoid that also, but really the easiest thing that you can do is just size down your hook. So for the purpose of this, I've used a, as I said, roving yarn, chunky weight. The pattern, or I'm sorry, the label says to use a J. So I went down, or I'm sorry, HIJKL. So I went down one size. And then, but if I were using bigger yarns or smaller yarns, I would just change my hook. Just play with it, see what works. Also, gauge is really subjective in crochet. Depends on how tight you crochet. So really just play around with it. But no matter what, use the same pattern and you can get any size. So what I'm going to cover today is how to get started, how to increase to create the shape, how to decrease to create the rest of the shape, and how to do the little tiny picot edging that gives kind of the leafy look. Once you know that, you'll know everything that you need. You'll have all the skills that you need to make a pumpkin like this. The couple other supplies that you'll need while you're walking down the Joanne aisles: some polyfill stuffing and a yarn needle. They have all different kinds. I would suggest getting a pointier one, and I'll tell you why towards the end of this video. But as long as it has a big enough eye for your yarn to fit through, you'll probably be okay. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to flip the camera over. This is never the prettiest of processes because it's just a phone camera, so talk amongst yourself. I would love to know if any of you yarn craft at all for the fall. Like, it's very common for us to do it for the winter holidays, and oh, I will be back showing you all kinds of stuff like that. But fall, what do you do? Do you yarn wrap? Do you knit? Do you crochet? Do you add it on your tablescapes at all? I would love if you would post in the comment section. After this video, whether you're watching live here on Facebook or later on the Knit Show YouTube channel, write your comments and I will answer them there. I see some coming through, but not a lot. Hi, Christine, so nice to see you. So if I miss it, I'll come back and get it later. Okay, I'm gonna flip the camera now and then we will get started. All right, so for this project, You're going to get your yarn and your hook. Again, just the corresponding hook that it says on the label. If it doesn't say, if you find a yarn label that only says what size knitting needles, just look at the millimeters. The millimeters will translate to whatever, this is going to be hard for you to see. But see, so in the US we say the letters, but internationally they'll use the millimeters, and that translates from knitting needle size to hook size. So just go from there, and like I said at the beginning, you may need to go down a size. Okay, so you're going to start with a slip knot. And we're going to chain 2. I still have my Halloween nails on from yesterday, so go with it. Then from here, we're going to single crochet 6 times in the second chain from hook. So the loop that's on the hook does not count. So counting 1, and this is 2. To single crochet, we just insert our hook through the loop, yarn over, pull through 1 loop, yarn over again, pull through 2 loops. If you're watching outside of the US and Canada, this is called a double crochet, but here it's called a single crochet. Okay, so I just did that once, so I'm going to do that 5 more times. So I'm just inserting it all in that same hook, or excuse me, that same loop. Okay, so let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it looks like I have 1 more to do. Okay, from here, we want to join our round. We are starting from, where's my pumpkin? We are starting from the very bottom of this, bottom center of this project. So to join this round, you are going to go into that first chain that we see here and slip stitch. To slip stitch, you just want to slip your hook in, and the first round is always a little fussy. It's just the way it is. Yarn over and pull through both loops. Okay, so that is our round 1. You can tug on the tail, it'll tighten it up a little bit. You could also use the magic circle method and just single crochet 6 single crochets in the middle of that circle. Okay, from here we want to heavily increase. So what I'm going to show you now is how to do the increase that you will use throughout the entire pattern. Again, that pattern is available on the Joanne blog. You're going to chain 1 just to get the height of that single crochet, but that one does not count. We're not counting that as a stitch. And then from here, you want to increase in every stitch around. So that means we're working 2 stitches into 1 loop. We're still working in single crochet, so we want to insert our hook underneath the 2 loops of the next stitch, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through 2 loops. Okay, that's 1 stitch, but now in that exact same space, we want to do the same thing, create another single crochet. So that has increased 1. And so then we're going to continue doing that all the way around. So what we're doing is every round as we get bigger, we're increasing 6 stitches. So the same amount that we started with, we're just increasing. So at the end of this round, we will have 12 stitches. I highly recommend that you count your stitches each time you go around. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, we have 1 more to go, 1 more set to go. So again, I've just done 2 single crochets in that same space to increase. And then we're going to join the round by slip stitching in that first chain 1. So from there, you would just continue all the way around as the pattern calls for, and you just space out the decreases. For the next round, you're going to work 5 single crochets and then do 2 single crochets in 1, so increase, and then 5 more, 2. The next round after that, 4, I'm sorry, the other way around. The next round you would single crochet in 1, and then single crochet twice in the next stitch. Single crochet in 1, 2 in the next stitch, so on, so on. The next round after that, single crochet one time in the next 2 stitches, and then single crochet twice in the next round after that, 3 times and then the increase, 4 times and then the increase, 5 times. And it's, again, it's all written down in the pattern. So it's the exact same increase all the way around. And you'll get a big piece that looks like this. After you've worked all of the increases, and that will be working 5 single crochets and then 2 to increase all the way around, you're going to work a few rounds just plain. So that means no increases. And what that will do is cause it to curve up like a bowl. So the increases, the even increases that we did, that kept the piece flat at the bottom. As soon as you stop increasing, it curves up. So you're just going to work straight single crochet. I don't need to show you how to do that anymore. And then from here, it's going to be time to decrease so that we get smaller. So I'm going to show you how to do what's called a SC2 together. So single crochet 2 together. But for this, just as we increased in increments, we're going to decrease in increments to mirror them. So since we ended with a single crochet 5 increase 1, we are going to end with a single crochet 5 single crochet 2 together. So we're chaining 1. Again, we don't count that as a stitch. That's just to give us the height. I'm just going to single crochet 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then to decrease these 2 stitches into 1, you're going to insert your hook in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through 1 loop. Then you're going to go into the next loop, yarn over, pull through. You'll now have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over 1 last time and pull through all 3. And now you can see that these 2 stitches, if you look from the top, are only 1. And then you would just repeat that. So I'm just going to go around. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it's time for me to do my decrease again. So I'm inserting in the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. I have 2 loops on the hook. Go to the next stitch, yarn over, pull through. I have 3 loops. Yarn over 1 last time and decrease. And you're just going to follow as the pattern calls for. Slowly the increments will get smaller and smaller until you've almost closed it up. Then you're just going to cut the tail and sew it closed. Okay, from there, so you'll have a piece, you sew it closed, and now what you'll need to do is, at the same time, before you sew it closed, obviously, you're going to want to just stuff it with some stuffing and make sure that it's really firm. And you can see, because I went down that hook size, that you can't see that white through it. If for some reason it was bugging you and you did, you can always get like an orange pair of tights or even a nude pair of hose and stuff that, and that'll kind of deflect from some of the white if you'd like. Okay, so let's talk stem. So the stem, the beginning of the stem is made exactly the same way as we started for the bottom of the pumpkin, just making the circle that we did, and then working 6 single crochets, and then we're not increasing at all. It's just 6 single crochets all the way here. There's a little curvy action that's explained in the pattern. But what I wanted to show you was how to create the little leaf stitch. I love picot stitches. I use them for edgings all the time, both in knitting and crochet. I just think they're a really sweet little detail, and they're very easy to create. So for this, at the end of this stem, I did increase once. At the very last round, I increase in every single stitch to give it a little bit of that flare that our leaves can kind of grow off of from. So to create a picot edging, all you want to do is chain 4, then you're going to count down to the 3rd chain from the hook. We know that this one doesn't count, so 1, 2, 3, and we want to slip stitch in that chain. My silky soft yarn fell off my hook. Okay, so what that did is that created your little nubbin. It'll show a little bit better once we proceed. Then we want to single crochet in the next stitch. And that really shows your picot because it kind of secures it. It secures the lower level, so your valley. And now to make the peak, we're going to go to the next stitch and we're going to single crochet from here and then chain 3. Slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook. And then repeat. And the reason why we did only chain 3 this time and we did chain 4 at the beginning is because that single crochet creates the height of that additional chain. So then you're going to just single crochet in the next stitch. I'm going to show you one last time. To create the picot, you insert your hook, single crochet in that next stitch, chain 3, and then slip stitch in the 3rd chain from the hook. And then you would just do that all the way around, fasten off as you normally would. And then before you sew it on, I wanted to talk about, at the beginning of this video, I talked about different needles. To create the little crevices that make it look extra pumpkin-y, all I did was take a really sharp needle and a couple of strands of yarn, and I just came up through the top, or came up from the bottom through the top and back down and pulled so that it seamed in. You need something that's got a point on it because you're going to be trying to weed your way through polyester stuffing, and that is no joke. If you have cotton stuffing, it'll be a little less of a wrestle, but as long as you have a pointy needle, it doesn't matter. And then once you've done that, just sew on your stem as you would normally. And that is all there is to it. It is so easy, super cute and fun. And I just think that little things like this really bring back the whole heirloom quality to holidays. So make one of these as a teacher's gift or again as a table decor. And please, if you do, please tag @Joann's and @Vickie Howell. We'd love to see the things that you're making. If you want to see more projects that look like this, these are called Amigurumi. We actually have an Amigurumi episode of my show, The Knit Show. The entire first season is up on YouTube. You can find that. Just look for The Knit Show with Vickie Howell. Or just go to thenitshow.com. Either way, and there's an entire episode featuring superstar amigurumi designers, Allison Hoffman from Crafty is Cool and Twinkie Chan. So fun. And I think especially, also my daughter makes an appearance on that, so I really like that episode. But a super cute idea, and there's ideas that would be great stocking stuffers. Speaking of stocking stuffers, if Christmas time is more your speed for working on holiday projects, please check out the Handmade Holiday episode. And then check back with me here on the Joann Facebook page next month because I am going to be bringing you some winter holiday projects as well. Thank you so much for spending some of your time here on the Joann Facebook page and later on YouTube with us. We really appreciate it. Take care. Bye.